This is a program brought to you by the Pueblo City County Library District, Special Collections and Museum Services Department. My name is Aaron. I'm the manager of the department, and today what we're going to do is look at some recipes from a 1982 Pueblo Library District cookbook that is a compilation of staff recipes that they would cook traditionally on Christmas. Around Christmas time, they would have a kind of a potluck deal where people would bring their favorite dish, and they'd set it up in the break room, and people would kind of pick at it throughout the day and eat and have a good time. So they compiled all that. Let me grab the book. And published this book. So you can see that there's borders, decorative borders. That's from a book edited by Alexander Nesbitt. 200 decorative title pages. And so at the bottom of each page, it will give you an idea of where it came from, or where it was used originally. They have the name of the contributor, the staff member, the recipe title, and then the recipe goes on from there. And they kind of have it arranged with salads, appetizers, entrees, and things like that. So you can find this entire cookbook live online through digital archives, Pueblo Library, PuebloLibrary.org, and then go to digital archives, and then you'll be able to see these recipes and a whole lot more. There's all kinds of recipes available. So the editor of the cookbook is Joanne Dodds, compilers Elvira Duke, Mary Neal Snow, typist Sue Zakowski, proofreaders Betsy Berg, Barbara Cravens, Isabel Drysdale, and Richard Tucci, contributors, all Pueblo Library District staff. So today, what we're going to cook, we're going to have Betsy Berg's chicken tetrazzini, easy for me to say. That is on page 45 of the cookbook in the online. And then we have Shirley Klein's Super Snack. It's a super easy but delicious a little appetizer. And then we'll have, that's on page 58. And then Joanne Dodd's Strawberry Punch is on 62. So what we got going on here is Betsy Berg's chicken tetrazzini. So Betsy was a youth services manager at the McClellan Library before the current the Rawlings Library was built. It was the McClellan there on this site. She also worked as the Pueblo West Library manager when it was known as the White Branch. So what we've got going on here is it says to get 2 slices of bacon and brown that until crispy. And so I've got my bacon. We started that a little earlier. We've got my bacon going, and that's working up. That's going to give you the bacon fat that you're going to be able to saute your onions and peppers with. We've got our water here, almost boiling. These hot plates aren't super powerful, so it asks for 10 ounces of macaroni noodles or shells boiled. So I'm going to go ahead. And we'll just go ahead and put the whole box in there because I'm sure somebody will come around that's hungry. So who knows if this macaroni will be boiled by the end of our time, but we'll see, right? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is it asks for to brown lightly in bacon fat 1/3 of a cup minced onions and 1/2 of a cup minced green peppers. So I'm going to cut this onion up, cutting the top and the bottom off. Just throw that in the trash. I like to cut around, just cut through, and I'm just losing one layer of onion here because we're flagrant like that. So not a problem. Here we go. Cut it from top to bottom, down the middle. guess this is a little coarser than a mince, but it should be fine. Wash your fingers. Don't want to cut yourself. So let's see how much. Third of a cup. That's about right. So we're going to add those to our bacon. Get those going. I'm going to go ahead and stir here. It's looking pretty good. It smells good. You can't smell it at home, but if you could, it's pretty good. So now I've seen people cut off the green pepper like this. I've also seen people cut around the stem. I'm kind of a fan of been doing that lately. And what you end up with is your seeds and everything in the middle. You can toss that. I would probably wash this off if I was at the house, but we don't have a sink right here. And so I'm just going to cut long strips lengthwise down the pepper. And let's see, you need a half a cup of this. So I'd say we're just going to put the whole pepper in. How about that? So we've got our third section going. Okay. So now I will line those up. It says minced green peppers. This might be a more rustic chop, what we're doing here, but I think it'll work out great. You don't want huge chunks of vegetable so that they can cook properly and brown up a little bit in this bacon. Looks like our macaroni noodles might be close to boiling, but we'll check on those in a second. Okay, so this is about a half cup, maybe a little bit more. That's okay. I'm going to add those to the mix, to the bacon and the onion. Give that a stir. And it didn't indicate in the recipe exactly like how much salt and pepper, but I like to get about this much in my palm. That's probably like a teaspoon, maybe a teaspoon and a half. And so we'll just add that like so, maybe like 2.5 good pinches. Might be a little salty, but it looks okay. And then what else do we have? We've got some pepper. I'm just gonna hit that pepper. Not too much, maybe about like a teaspoon-ish. Pepper smells great. We'll give that a stir. Okay, now what else? So we've added the third cup mixed onion, a half cup minced green pepper, and now we're going to add 2 cups of shredded American cheese. And when I found this, I couldn't find American cheese. That's not something that we do normally these days. So I found some sliced cheese, and we're going to just kind of shred it like this, right? And so this package has a pound of cheese in it. I'm going to have half of the cheese. That 2 cups is equivalent to a half pound of cheese. So let's see how this goes. We're going to add it to the mix, and hopefully it'll start melting down for us. The American cheese melts pretty well. You could probably use cheddar or whatever varietal that appeals to you. But you want a melting cheese. So we've got some a half or a quarter of a pimento. I couldn't find whole pimentos at the store, so we just have these sliced pimentos. And let's see, kind of recreate a pimento. This is probably a quarter of a pimento. To be honest, I don't know what a pimento really looks like, so we'll just kind of eyeball it. And this is a quarter pimento cut up. So we're going to use our chef knife skills here and rock the blade back and forth over the pimento to chop it up. And then using our kind of flexible cutting board. We can just toss that in. Looks like we got some of the cheese is melting now, so that's good. So yeah, it's pretty nice. So what else? A 1/4 cup of toasted shaved almonds. So I have the toasted and sliced almonds here. So I don't have to cook it in the pan or anything, so that's a good saving grace. 1/4 cup. So we can say that's about 1/4 cup, right? Your handful. And we're going to add that to the mix. You stir it up. Some of that cheese is melting. Very nice. Let's see. The next thing is 1 3/4 cup of cooked peas. So I forgot to do this earlier, but we're going to cook these just instant peas in the microwave now. And we're going to put it in for about 7 minutes. Okay, it's a very silent microwave, so that's a good sign. In the meantime, it calls for some chicken. Cooked chicken. So, this is just a rotisserie chicken that I bought at the store because I don't have the means to cook a whole chicken at the moment. You could do it from scratch, but if not, if you want some time saving some time, you can just do it like this. I'm putting it on the same cutting board as the vegetables and all that because it's not raw chicken. There's no chance of cross-contamination, so we're good there. So I'm going to just start at the breast. I think what we'll do is use the white meat. I love dark meat too, but just for the sake of this recipe, we'll just use white. It asks for 2 cups cut up cooked chicken. So I'll cut along the breasts here. Got a big chunk of chicken. I'm going to throw the skin away. And then, let's see, try not to, I'm just going to rip this off. I'm nervous about cutting myself live on the internet, so we're not going to do that. I'm just going to tear the chicken off the breast, and then you have I didn't get all the meat off the breast, but you have about 2 cups of white meat chicken here. So I'm just going to put it up. And you could, I would imagine bite-sized pieces would be what you're trying to go for here. You can do them larger. Once we put the chicken in the pan, this chicken was cooked and it was in the refrigerator for a little bit. So we can just put the chicken into the pan and that'll heat up pretty good. So cheese is melting. You got the chicken, onions and bell peppers. You could add garlic to this. I'd probably add some cloves of garlic. So as you can see, it's coming together pretty good. And that American cheese is melting nicely. So there's that. At this point, we would have boiled macaroni. If we had some more powerful hot plates here. But you can just kind of imagine that, if you will. So we have, so ideally the macaroni would be boiled. We add the macaroni to the chicken mixture here, and then you'd be good to go. So as far as the chicken fettuccine is concerned, we are done. So I think, do you want to join me?
Sure.
Okay, so we have a special guest. I'm going to put on my mask. So we have Maria. You might recognize her from her cooking cast. So what we're going to do is, so it didn't work out. These hot plates are not, yeah, they're not super powerful. So
Well, it smells delicious.
Yeah. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad that we have a witness to verify that. I was saying that they smelled good earlier, but who knows if it does. So we cooked, or we are cooking the chicken tetrazzini over here. Now we have the Shirley Klein's Super Snack and Joanne Dodd's Strawberry Punch. So why don't... Yeah, I'll put you to work. Okay, so why don't you do the Super Snack, and I'll do the Strawberry Punch. Okay, so here, why don't you switch places? So, and here is the Super Snack.
So we've got crackers and Philadelphia cream cheese. Little and 3 choices of hot sauce.
Yeah. So, sure, I understand that Shirley was a cut up, more or less.
She was hilarious.
Yeah.
She is hilarious.
Yes.
She still visits us from time to time.
Perfect, yeah.
And she is awesome.
Okay. Cool. Well, so Shirley's, one of you, so this recipe is the Super Snack, and it's super basic. Anybody can do it, and it is a spread of whipped cream cheese. And what's really awesome is that now they sell already whipped cream cheese, so that's nice, right? Like you don't have to whip it yourself.
That's how I like it.
Right?
Easy.
You and Devo, right? Anyway, so you put this cream cheese on the cracker, preferably stone ground wheat is what the recipe calls for. And so we have a variety here. I think there's some wheat crackers. Let's see. And so we got the cream cheese on there, on the cracker, and now place a dab of picante sauce on top of each cracker, comma, good with drinks. So it's Friday afternoon. You can just get straight into it.
So I'm going to put a dab of the Cholula.
Okay.
Maybe a couple of dabs.
Yeah.
The Cholula. It might be too safe right now.
Perfect. I think that's good. And so which is, do you have a favorite hot sauce?
I kind of like the Cholula sauce.
Yeah.
That's kind of my favorite, but to be honest, I love everything.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm going to also put a little bit of the Tapateo
Nice.
on there. They don't come out too hard.
Perfect.
So
Yeah.
try this one.
Okay. How is it?
That's really good.
Yeah.
And you know what? I might put too much on this one.
Okay. Okay.
But the cream cheese is going to make it a lot easier to eat if you put too much.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's the milk product helps when chili's too hot.
Yeah, it cools it down.
You don't want big water.
Right. Milk.
Milk.
Right. I like to add some sour cream. Maybe that's also a good one.
Yeah.
Or
Any kind of dairy product.
yeah, some fresh cream. Fantastic. So during all this, our peas cooked. So would you be so kind as to grab those peas out of the microwave and watch out for the cord there? And let's see, we have a knife. Let's see. Super hot. I like the microwave peas because these microwave packs, because you don't have to dirty up a pot. You can just cook it and you're good. So we're going to add these peas to the chicken tetrazzini, or to our chicken cheese. Do you use American cheese?
I use all cheese.
All cheeses? Okay.
All cheese is good.
Yeah. Nice.
Whatever cheese you have.
Yeah. And so, like, I think the appeal of the American cheese in this dish is that it just kind of liquefies, and there's not a whole lot of grease that's produced, like with a cheddar, maybe. So that looks pretty good, right?
It smells delicious.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're gonna let that marinate for a little bit, and we're gonna get over here to our range. So So Shirley Klein, she worked her super snacks. She worked at Reader's Reference Advisory and Special Collections, first at McClellan and then at Rawlings after the Rawlings library was built. So Joanne Dodds worked in the Special Collections department here as well. And was she at McClellan as well?
Yeah, and several years. She was here, like, I want to say more than 30 years.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And so she was in administration for a long time.
Oh,
And Joanne Dodds is really famous because she wrote a lot of books.
Right, yeah. The Thatchers,
Pueblo.
Pueblo history, cultural history.
A lot of Pueblo history, and we have a lot of those books in our collection, special collection.
We do. And you can come and you can check those books out too. So get on board with that. Yeah. Okay. So she's come up with the strawberry punch, and the directions are one strawberry Kool-Aid package. I couldn't find that strawberry Kool-Aid, so we went with a Flavor Aid. You need a quart of water, which I've already put in our container here. I'm gonna dump the drink mix in. Let's see, with sugar. So how much sugar do you usually put in your Kool-Aid, Maria? 2 cups, 3?
For that much, maybe one.
That's not a lot. I think 1 cup is the preferred. It's the directions say 1 cup. So
and then you can always try it and see. Oh, I need more sugar.
Yeah, you can always add. You can't take out.
No.
That's right.
Or you dilute it.
Yeah. Okay, so we got the sugar, cup of sugar, and then it calls for 1 liter, a liter of cola. No, not cola. A liter of lemon lime drink soda. So this is a 2 liter, and I will put in approximately half of it. It smells good. This is kind of along the lines of those punches that you would get at church or at weddings or bar mitzvahs, that kind of thing.
Birthday parties.
Yeah, this is like a perennial drink here, and I like the old recipes because they come up with interesting combinations that we might not go to. And then 1 package, 16-ounce frozen strawberries. This is a 32-ounce. So, oh Lord. Okay, that's exciting. Yeah, we're good. So that's about half a package. I've got my spoon here.
That's kind of nice because it keeps it cold.
Yes, like you don't even have to put ice in there. It says, it adds that you should chill with an ice mold. What is an ice mold? I'm not.
I think some people still do that, where they make a mold of ice and they put like a pan and they put ice in there or water in there.
Yeah.
They can put like different types of fruit in there.
Oh. Yeah.
And then just put it in the freezer.
Yeah.
And then when it's ready for the punch, you put it in there and then it'll just start to disintegrate, but it'll keep the punch cold.
Nice.
And it'll disintegrate and you have all your fruit.
That sounds fantastic. So here it is. You don't get a whole lot of yield per serving per recipe. It says it doesn't say how many it will serve. I think this is like a good 4-person, maybe 4 people. You say?
Depending on the size of glass.
Yes. Yeah. Depending on how thirsty you are. So let's see. We have some cups. Yeah, we can try that. Alright, there's some for you. You're welcome. And I will try some. And
Cheers.
cheers. Salud. Oh, that's very sweet.
That is, it's good though.
I think that we could add some ice to it and it would cool it down a little bit, but it's good.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
It is sweet.
Yeah, thank you, Joanne. Perfect. I think what we can do now is we have the macaroni that may or may not be cooked all the way through. It looks pretty good.
Looks like it might be.
Let's see. Yeah, I think this is al dente, but that's kind of what you want here. So we're gonna toss it into our enormous pan here. Some of that. We'll get the last bits here. And there we go. Okay, now we'll stir it up. So you have to kind of be careful that the pan is not too hot, otherwise that cheese will start burning.
Things will start sticking.
Yeah, things will start sticking.
So you want it kind of like on a low medium heat?
Yeah, I would put it on a low medium for sure. So as far as the macaroni, we cooked the whole 16-ounce box. It calls for 10 ounces, so there's a little bit more macaroni here than normal. And instead of the 2 pieces of bacon, we added 3, because why not?
We've got hungry people waiting.
Yeah, I think people will finish it off. If not, we can take it home. It's no big deal. So yeah, so here you are. It looks pretty good. Do you want to try this?
I do.
Okay. So we're
It does smell great.
here. I'll give you the super cool cast iron pan. Let's see. We don't have any forks. I think. Yeah, you can use that, and I'll use this, and then we'll.
And I cooked with cast iron.
Oh, nice.
Jackie
Oh,
has.
here we go.
Jackie has
Jackie's
it
got the. Hi, Jackie.
Hi.
All right, thank you.
Smells great.
Awesome. Okay, so I got some chicken. I got some bacon. Got some peppers. Got a little bit of everything in there.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, now I'm gonna step away.
Betsy Bird, right?
Betsy Bird.
So my first job at the library was with Betsy Bird. She was the manager at the White Branch. And that was really good.
Yeah.
She was awesome.
Did she bring chicken tetrazzini like weekly or?
No, she would do puppet shows for me though.
Nice. Just solo, one-on-one?
Yeah, the puppets would come in and then she'd go for it.
That sounds good. That's how I would like to receive all my news, any kind of,
Yeah,
like, you're doing a great job.
she was one of the best bosses I ever had.
Nice. Well, I'm glad that you were able to join us here today, and thank you for coming by. And I hope that everybody watching enjoyed themselves. And remember that the cookbook is available online through PuebloLibrary.org under Digital Archives, the Pueblo City County Library District collection. You can find it there. So thanks very much for coming in and joining us, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.